So this is part 2 of my video on the Tru Tension Link Monkey motorcycle chain breaker and riveting tool. Again, just in this one, I'll just put that there, so if you want to see the name of the parts and such like, you can just freeze that and check it out. So what we're going to be looking at in the second part is actually how we connect and rivet the new link onto the new chain. Okay, so when you get your new chain, you'll obviously get the chain, and you should also have a packet in it like this. Okay, it's a sealed bag with a little bit preservative in it, and what you'll find in there is you'll have a new master link. These are the 2 rivets that's already pre-riveted on one side. Okay, so you've got 2 rivets that you need to rivet down. You'll get a face plate that obviously needs to go onto here. You'll have 4 O-rings or X-rings depending on the type of chain that you've got, and you'll also get a small packet of grease. Very important, don't throw this away, you do need it. Okay, right, so how it works is there are two functions that you need to do to fix the chain together to apply the new link. Okay, so the first one is to get this plate onto the link. Now when I'm here now, there's no way I can physically push that front plate onto there. It's a very tight interference fit, and this is why you need the tool. Okay, now what's important to remember is you don't want to push this on too tight, otherwise the link is going to be tight, and then all of a sudden you're going to have all the problems of trying to move the plate back out and free it off. Okay, so when you come to put the plate on, yeah, and I'll say it later on as well, you need to basically only turn it a small amount at a time and then check it. So how do we know how tight we need to put the link on? Well, the easiest way is to use some type of accurate measuring tool. Now this is my vernier. This is a little vernier I got from B&Q. Cost me 15 quid, I think, something like that. You can get one with a LCD digital display that'll actually read the size for you for about 20 odd quid. But if you know how to read one of these, just save yourself the extra £10 and get this. Very handy little tool. I've made a short video on how they work, how to use them and how to read them, and how handy it actually is. Okay, anyway, to fit the chain, the easiest thing to do is if you measure and record the measurement of several links on the chain. Some will obviously slightly wider than others. Okay, now remember to measure across the faces of the link and not on the rivets. Okay, across the face of the link, not the rivets. When you've measured several of them, you'll have a high reading and a low reading. Okay, so what you want to be looking for when you press the new plate on is for the distance of the new plate to be between the high and the low reading, and then that way you know that it's on and you've got exactly the right amount of tension. So once you've got that measurement, the first thing you will do is you'll fit the chain onto the bike, and you'll get the new link. It can go either way, but normally the new link has got some sort of writing on it. Don't know if you can see that at all. I'm just moving it in the light. Now normally you're fitting the link at the top of the chain, so a bit OCD, I make sure that's just the right way up. Okay, so you fit the new link into the chain. Actually what happens is you open the grease, you put grease at the bottom of the links, put on an X-ring, put some more grease on, then you would fit this through the chain. Then you would put more grease on this side, fit the X-rings, and then a bit more grease, and then you come to fit the plate. And again, the plate has got some writing on it, so we'll just make sure that goes up the right way. And so the grease should hold that on, and then you're now ready to press this onto the master link. So the tool is here. It's still set up from when I showed how to remove the rivet. So what we want to do now is actually remove the pin completely. Let's hold it that way so we don't drop the ball bearing out. So we take out the inner screw, take out the ball bearing, the pin and the spring. Okay, let's put them all safely. We don't need those now. What we need to use for the first part for pressing the plate on are these two anvils. Okay, so the difference between the two anvils is quite obvious. One has got two holes in it and one has got this groove across the center. Okay, the one with the groove is going to sit in the body of the tool in that hole where we press the rivet out in the first part. Okay, so it sits in there. Okay, the grooves themselves, what they will do is they will sit over the two rivets and then sit flush against the plate and hold the plate in place. Okay, let's do it on this one here. So you can see here now the plate doesn't slide up and down, it will obviously move side to side, and that basically then sits flush on the back of the master link, so that when you start to press the other plate it's pressing directly onto the rivets and not against the other part of the chain. The front part, when you put it on, you'll see has these two holes, and when it goes in line, when you get it all lined up and set up, you will see that it actually allows the rivets to come through when you press the plate on. And that's basically what you do. You're going to put them in and then squeeze those together until they reach the width that you measured on the other links. Okay, so very quickly, the anvil with the groove goes in at the back, and on the front, on this particular set, what you would do is you would replace the alignment, the pin guide, with the correct size hole for this. Okay, which is this one. I think this one might be small. Yeah, this one's too small, so I need to take this one out. So I would need to take this one out. This is on this particular tool. This might not be exactly the same if you're using a different brand. Okay, so I would take the other one out and fit this. Pardon me. Let me put that down. So we then just put that one in. Okay, again, it only needs to be finger tight. So we put that one in. So we put the anvil with the groove in the hole, the anvil with the two holes in the front. Okay, let's wind this back. And then we would fit the grooved anvil over fit the grooved anvil. Okay, so once you've got it all lined up there, you can see the front plate is held in place there. You can see the rear plate is held in the groove slot, and then basically you apply pressure and you will start to see the front plate pressing on. Okay, now again, I would only maybe go 1 or 2 flats at the most each time. Take it off, measure it, put it back on, 2 flats, take it off, measure it, put it back on, 2 flats. It's a bit time consuming, it's a bit of a pain, but if you want to do it properly, this is what you need to do. Okay, because remember, if you press it on too far, it's going to be too tight, and you've now got to somehow draw that front plate back off. So it's better to be careful and take your time putting it on so it's exactly right. And then once you've got the correct tension, we then go to riveting. Okay, once we've pressed on the plate will now have the rivets protruding through the face. We know we've now got it at the correct tension. We've pressed it on far enough. We don't need to press it anymore. So now what we need to do is flare the rivets. Now obviously I haven't pressed this on because I'm going to use this link on another chain anyway. But what we would need to do now is to flare the 2 rivets. And the tools we need for that are, so we take out the 2 anvils. We don't need those now. And we will be using this one with the ball bearing, and the ball bearing, what that will do is, if I'll take the link out so you can see a little bit better, the ball bearing, once we use the tool, will press into, you can see that the head of the rivet is concave, and the ball bearing will press into where that concave is, and as we apply pressure it will flare it out slightly. Now we really only need to flare it out about 1/2 millimeter. That's more than enough. But we need to do it on each rivet separately. Okay, so in the front of the tool, we'll be using this one with the ball bearing. And on the back, you can see here, there are 2 other types of anvil. And what they do is they sit on the back of the rivets. And you can see there are 2 different size recesses. So you need to use the one that will sit over the rivet, so you need to have the one that will sit over the rivet, but it doesn't sit flush with the plate. Okay, it doesn't sit flush with the plate, it actually sits on the rivet itself. That's so that when we apply pressure directly on this side with the ball bearing, we're actually applying pressure to the rivet and not pressing against the face of the master link on that plate. Okay, so they're the 2 that we'll use, and in exactly the same way we use the anvil to push the plate on, we now put that anvil in the back that sits over the rivet. We put the one with the ball bearing, that will now screw in into the front, and we will line it all up, press that up, and then to make sure we know that we flared this over enough, the same thing as we did before, we can use our vernier gauge. We take a measurement at the head there, we flare it, and then we come back and we measure it, and once it's 1/2 millimeter wider, we know that it's then flared over. And that basically is how you that's how you apply the new link and rivet over the end.